Sup, my dudes? So today we've got a colleague of mine, or client colleague, that gave me his old gaming PC. It is a DDR3 system, but he's having issues with the PC, so he said that if he turns the PC on, when it's cold, the PC works fine, but if you start running it for like 5 minutes, it starts turning off, turning on, turning off, turning on, and the cycle continues. So today we're going to be having a look at it, trying to see if we can get this thing repaired. So my first thing would be looking at the power supply. I have a feeling the power supply is dying, so we obviously don't want the rest of his components to die. Now, I don't know the specs entirely on this PC. I do know it's a DDR3 system, so obviously it is quite old. It's got 16 gigs of DDR3 RAM. I don't know the speed. It's got an i5. I don't know what generations. I'm presuming like a 3rd gen or a 4th gen i5. But we will just have to look and confirm. And then it's got a pretty decent GPU. I don't know what GPU it is. It looks decent. It could be like a 750 or a 1050 or maybe like a 1660 even. But I don't think it is a 1660. But maybe we'll confirm the specs when we have a look at it. When we get this PC up and running. So I already tested his issue, and I did confirm that is the problem. When you do turn it on, it does work for a good 5 minutes, and then it just starts turning off and it starts giving problems. So we're gonna start off with the power supply, and then we're gonna add some extra cooling, maybe 1 or 2 fans extra, and definitely cable manage it, because the cables in this thing looks crazy. This was like the tech back in the day. Look at this thing, guys. The cables are whack. Look at that. That is just crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, anyways, we're definitely gonna be able to make it look much better. We're gonna replace some of these screws, because I see these are not original case screws. These are just some normal hardware store screws. So I think if we can replace that, it'll look much better as well. So let's get these panels off so we can see what we're working with. I cleaned the outside of the case. I just used some normal multi-surface cleaner and a rag, and just cleaned it off. But the inside definitely also needs some cleaning. Okay, sweet. We got these side panels off. This is a really nice case. I mean, considering for back in the day, this looks sick. I definitely think we can do some proper cable management in this thing. It's got some space in the back. Obviously, it's not as much as a modern case, but it does offer enough space for us to do some cable management. For now, we can start unplugging everything, and then we can... Damn, this thing has some work. Oh, this is kind of sketch. I see they've made some plans with the CPU power connector. I'll show you guys now. They used some insulation tape. So I guess these wires were broken, I presume. Let's get this cables. Zip ties snipped down. You guys can see that? Look at the tape. That is problematic. I wonder... That's kind of sketchy. So this power... It's a gigabyte power supply, so... Let's see the wattage. It's a max combined wattage. 460 watts. Peak wattage, 585 watts. So this is a 460 watt power supply. We're going to be swapping it out with a standard 400 watt power supply. I think it should be more than enough to power the system, because I mean, it's not like he's running an RTX 5090 or anything. And then we're going to change out this fan. Well, we're going to keep this fan. We're just going to move it up, and then we're going to put a new fan in the back and install an ARGB controller, which I actually have right here somewhere. There we go. We'll install this ARGB controller. This is a Premium Sun ARGB controller. I have these available on my website, linked down in the description below. Same thing applies for the fans. So these go for 177 Rand each. This is only for South Africa, guys, so I apologize to the guys overseas. But you guys can check it out on my website. Like I said, I'll leave a link down in the description. This comes with everything you'll need. Get some of these unplugged. He's got so many SATA cables which are not occupied. Like he's not using them. Like this one, nothing plugged into that. This one, nothing plugged into that. So all the ports are occupied, and he's got so many extra cables which he doesn't need. This one is occupied. This one is unoccupied. This one can be removed as well. He had 3 SATA cables in here, and it's not doing anything. Anyways, yeah, okay, let's get this one disconnected. So this one is out the way. Whoever did the cable management in this thing needs some help. But we're here to fix that today, guys. We're here to fix that today. He's got two... Oh, you know what? The DVD drives. He had 2 DVD drives in here, which weren't connected. I think I'm gonna connect that for him, because you might want to be able to watch some movies and stuff. You know, use it as a DVD player. Watch some films. Get the film, boys. Okay, I think hard drive. Let's get that disconnected. Let's get this HDD out of the system. There we go. Get this old clunky power supply out here. This has got so many cables, guys. That is crazy. Let's get this out. Damn, that was a rat's nest. Okay. 450 watt PSU out. Okay, let's start with the cable management, guys, because this can be done so much better. Let's remove the GPU. Maybe we can see what GPU this is. I'm gonna tell you guys how much he paid for this system. You guys won't believe me. 800 bucks, guys. He paid 800 bucks for this PC, which is crazy if you ask me. What is this? It's a 1050. Yeah, I knew it. It's a 1050 Ti. Okay, so it's got 4 gigabytes. Yeah, 4 gigabytes GDDR5. Okay, it's a 1050, guys. NVIDIA card, 1050. Sweet. Okay, let's get this. We'll clean it off a bit later. Okay, let's get these cables managed, because damn, it needs some serious help. Front audio jack is plugged in. Now we gotta get this fan disconnected, because we are gonna change the location of this fan. So the fan is out. Let's set that aside real quick. Okay, let's see what we're working with here. Do we have a cable management hole in the back? Yes, we do. We're gonna have to remove the motherboard to actually utilize that thing. Okay, we'll do that a bit later. These have been routed quite poorly, so I'm gonna remove that. That is not a motherboard screw, my guy. Okay, I'll swap that out for him, because I'm a good person, you know. I'm a good person. I will swap it out. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and comment down below. Your support would be greatly appreciated, you know, as I'm just starting out. Okay. I gotta focus for this. So these freaking connectors, guys. The front IO shield headers. I'm gonna just unplug them one by one and then route them the correct way. What I would like to do sometimes, if I have the motherboard installed and I can't, like these on the motherboard, it's not marked out, and I do not have a manual for this board. What I like to do is put the motherboard in, jump the motherboard with a screwdriver, because then I already know which one is the power button. What is that? That is not normal. Bruh, look at this. They use this to mount the hard drive. That's not normal. Anyways, that's okay. We'll just do it better. I'm gonna bring the HDD down. Okay. Now we've got that mounted. Okay, we'll move all that stuff out the way later. Okay, so we've got the HDD mounted. Now we can see HDD is plugged in, mounted. Obviously need to plug in the power supply, but it's mounted and it's ready to go. So now I think we'll move on to, okay, so front AIO, we've got that sorted out. HDD is mounted. We've got all these extra cables out the way, which I do not know what this, oh, fan, okay, cool. He's got a fan mounted in the front, which I believe is set to intake, yes it is. Okay, now that we got all the extra cables out the way, I'm just gonna take a cloth and wipe everything properly. So let's get rid of all that, so it just looks a bit better. You get what I'm saying? This thing needs a proper cleaning. That in there. Start wiping everything down. Nice and clean, boys. Some stains there. I'm not gonna ask what that is. No questions asked. Ask no questions, tell no lies. Because we all know dust is a killer. Massive killer. Let's get this HDD wiped down. Okay. I do know he mentioned that this PC got wet at some point when he bought it from the previous owner, because obviously it's a pre-owned PC. When he bought it from the previous owner, it had some water or something that spilled in the top. So obviously that is a little bit of a problem, but I mean, he said he's been using the PC for a while now and it hasn't given him any problems, so we're not going to ask any questions, guys. And I just hit the microphone, so apologies to my headphone users. There we go, that looks much better. Okay, so HDD is plugged in, front AO is plugged in. I'm still thinking if I should plug this in the DVD drives. We'll see how we feel later. Let's get the motherboard loosened up. I know that we already plugged everything in, but we're gonna need to get this motherboard out. It has some give, so I'll just squeeze the cable in at the top. Okay, let's get the new power supply in. Raidmax RX 400 XT, or yeah, is it an RX 400 XT? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, it's a 400 watt power supply. It should do the trick. We've got a, let me just confirm. PCIe, there we go. Let's check this. Indeed it works, guys. Okay. It works. Let's get this bad boy plugged in. Okay, so we've got our power supply installed. Gotta work carefully here because I don't want to remove the motherboard entirely, but I obviously want to get the CPU power plugged in. So I need to kind of, yeah, no, it's not gonna work. Okay, let me do this real quick. Get all these cables squished through there. We'll obviously sort it out after we are done with the build. Let us find the CPU power, which would be this one. Yes, very nice. But now we gotta do this sketchy job. We'll have to remove the motherboard, guys. The standoffs are completely shot. Like, completely. And it's so difficult, especially in South Africa, because it's quite a dusty country. especially in winter time, because we don't get rain in winter all that much. Okay, well this year has been weird, but usually we don't get a lot of rain, especially in the province I am, or state, whatever you want to call it. We don't get a lot of rain in winter, so if you don't clean your stuff out during winter, that is obviously a massive no-no. Because the dust, man, oh, it's so bad. Especially if you got animals. Now, I can't see any sign of a cat or... Well, he maybe have a dog, but definitely not a cat. Because there's no cat here or anything. Definitely not a husky either. Because husky owner here, I know what it's like. You gotta clean your stuff out constantly. Okay. No, guys. What is that? No, no, no. Removing the motherboard entirely. I need to show you guys this. Check the CPU socket. The mounts are completely loose. That's not good. And these are stuck to the board, so we'll have to replace that. I also hate these fans, but damn! Okay, well, now that the board is out, let's cable manage. Let's just pre-install everything, get it out the way. So, okay. I think we're ready to go. Let's get the board installed. I presume they ran out of screws when building this PC. Now, before, because I know he's going to be watching this video, I know he did not build this PC. I know he bought it from someone else. So, and I don't think that he rebuilt it after. So I do think that the way it is here is the way he bought it. And obviously didn't change anything after that or didn't do anything else. He just used it, which... most people do that, so I don't blame him, especially if you're not too sure, because it is quite a daunting task to just build a PC for some people, especially if it's like a new thing for you. So I don't blame him. This was a really nice motherboard for back in the day, guys. It's got 2 PCIe slots. It's got nice heat shield, heat sink. I'd rather say. This is pretty damn cool, I'm not gonna lie. This was the stuff back in the day. Okay, anyways, let's not get too sidetracked. Okay, so motherboard's installed. Again, these pins, dude. Cool. Power switch is plugged in. Let's get the USB plugged in. USB all plugged in. I'm not gonna play with that anymore. Okay, sweet. Here we go. We'll zip tie these all together. This will be a pretty sick, like, minimal build because it doesn't have RGB, so we'll add 1 RGB fan just to give it a little bit of character, you know? I don't think it will hurt. Let's get the RAM installed. Lay it down flat. seated nice and properly. Okay, let's move on to motherboard power. Guys, always make sure that your motherboard power is plugged in properly. You don't want to damage the board or get any blue screens or anything. Okay, I can confirm it is plugged in properly. Okay, motherboard's plugged in. Let's get this GPU installed. I do believe he does play some games on this thing. I don't know what he plays. I didn't ask him. I can't imagine new titles though. Let's be real, guys. The 1050 Ti was a beast back in the day. Definitely a beast. Okay, all plugged in. Just gonna make them finger tight for now. Oh no, you know what? Let me just secure them properly. There we go. It is properly secure. GPU is good. It's plugged in. That's looking good. We're getting there, guys. Have a look-see for yourselves. You guys remember the before and after. It's getting there. Let's get this new fan installed. So these premium sun fans are 120mm. They support ARGB connectors, the normal 3-pin one, the 5V, not the 12V, which you can connect to your motherboard. Like I said, links down in the description below. You guys can check it out. Keep reminding that. They look really nice. You can sync them with all your motherboard software. I use these fans in my daily driver PC, and they work perfectly fine with Aura Sync and also Signal RGB. I have not tested any other software with it, but it is compatible with it. But my first-hand experience, I've used it with Armory Crate and Signal RGB. They both work. Okay. Guys, when installing the fan, remember, cables facing the motherboard's direction, and then your pretty side is the intake side of the fan, and your ugly side is the exit side of the fan. Okay, we got the fans in. The other one we'll install real quick as well. It's just gonna blow out at an angle, you know what I'm saying? But it'll work. It will do the trick. There you go. Rear exhaust fan is installed. We have the top exhaust fan installed. Let's get back to the GPU. Once again, guys, once more. This is the last time I'm installing this GPU. If I have to install this thing again, I'm stopping. That looks good. I'm quite happy with that. I'm pretty sure this PC would still be able to run stuff like Fortnite and, you know, the basic stuff. I'm pretty sure it will be able to. Let's get this GPU plugged back in. Standard 6-pin. That's looking pretty good, guys. Motherboard is plugged in both ways. CPU's plugged in, motherboard's plugged in. Just ensure that the CPU is plugged in properly. Guys, always make sure your CPU power is plugged in properly, because that can lead to blue screens and other issues. So just keep that in mind. Please, when you're building a PC, make sure it is plugged in all the way and it is plugged in properly. Same thing goes with the RAM. Make sure it's slotted in properly. Make sure everything is plugged in properly and installed properly. motherboard standoffs, remove the useless ones because you don't want to short out the motherboard and damage it over time, or even instantly. It doesn't matter. Sometimes you can get lucky and you can save the motherboard. Sometimes you don't get that lucky. I've been both unlucky and lucky. But anyways, guys, let's continue with the build. We got to plug in the HDD. Controller installed. Comes with the instruction manual. We'll just throw that aside. We don't need the controller. We don't need no instruction manual. Bro, this thing is stubborn. Stop being so stubborn. There we go. Okay, sweet. Let's power the system on first and see if everything actually works. You see that? Now that's looking nice. Let's leave it on for a couple of minutes, see if it turns off. If it turns off, that means the power supply was not the issue. So I'll be back with you guys in a couple of minutes. If this thing continues turning off, then we obviously have a problem. But if it does not, within the next 5 minutes, we should be good. Okay, so it seems like we're okay. It's not turning off. So I'm gonna just power it off here. I know you shouldn't force shut down the stuff, but I don't have a monitor with me right now, so I'll just do it like that. Let's get this IO shield installed. Well, let's first get it plugged out. Guys, I think we are practically done. Let's install an RGB strip, guys. Why not? Where is that other plug? Oh, there it is. I love this case, guys. It's pretty cool. It's so retro, man. Let's get the side panel on. That's looking good. That's looking very good. Turn you guys around.